We are 15 miles due west of the Atlantic, nestled in downtown Jacksonville at TIAA Bank Field. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback.
What now?
On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. That's to about the 28. Second down coming up. Well, this defense for the Jags, they were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover.
Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. 27 yards there, a first down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. Down to the 42, second down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
On 2nd and 7, Carr. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 25-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. On play action, it's Carr. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
So it looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But this defense gets 2 more stops. They can keep them out of that area.
Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
They haven't been able to stop them so far this series, but getting a nice little stand from their defense now.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Now Carr. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. And the Jaguars are going to take possession of the football. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
Willis takes a hit and the ball is free. And the Raiders pick it up. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. And I guess we're back to square one. A rocky start here. A turnover followed by a turnover.
Not exactly what we expected going into the game, but I always wonder about the nerves and people starting, the emotions of the game. Sometimes it takes a little while for that to play out and for them to settle in. Let's hope that that's taken care of now.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
On first down, they go with Jacobs again. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. A Raider first down, 17 yards.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Now Carr. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test them early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
What now?
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. K'Lavon Chaisson, the former first-rounder, in there to get the sack.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
So after the sack, Carr in Las Vegas with a 3rd and long. They'll drop to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And the Jags are going to take possession of the football. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great
Willis takes a hit and the ball is free. And the Raiders have recovered.
Can we get some forensics done here? Because I need to figure out
what on that ball.
Yeah, on the ball, on the guys carrying the ball, what's going on? Back-to-back drives. Back-to-back fumbles. That just doesn't make a whole lot of sense if you're coming out here to play in the NFL.
I don't think the coaching staff thinks it makes a whole lot of sense either.
No, maybe there'll be changes.
And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Devin Lloyd in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. So that, another sack for the first-round pick on the season. You know, he's shown here, Charles, in the first few months of his career that pass rushing, it might be a specialty of his.
Yeah, and I'm not sure that I graded him that way prior to the season. That's not necessarily what they drafted him for at all, but let's face it, they're going to take it, and I think they'll expand upon these talents that they found and keep sending him after the quarterback.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
And this drive was almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on 1st down, followed by an incompletion, one more good rep, and they get off the field.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Throw left side, taken in by Renfro. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. They get 15, but they still needed a little bit more. 4th down.
And I believe that gain on 3rd and long changes things quite a bit because this would be a very long field goal. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go for it here.
They'll try and run with a fullback, Johnson. And he is not going anywhere. They stop him for no gain. He needed 2. He barely got back to the line of scrimmage. And the Jaguars are going to take possession here on the turnover on downs. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Willis looking to throw on 1st down. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Partner, we had their game last week where they had 6 sacks, so a little bit more momentum here again in the first quarter.
And last week it appeared that they were coming out of sprinters blocks, chasing the quarterback. So how do they continue that? How do they keep making it happen? Different looks, different disguises, different angles that they chase it.
They were so disruptive last week. We'll see what the trend is here as we go forward. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Straight ahead, Etienne. And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. They'll get this out to the flat for Etienne. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Etienne is not going anywhere. He'll be hit and dropped for no gain at the 2-yard line. Not able to go anywhere that time. 2nd down. So stuffed from the 2, now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
Play action?
Definitely. Let him get outside and create. And if he has to run it, he has a little bit more space.
And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Willis with a quick throw out wide. Touchdown! Evan Ingram, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Jags post the first points of the ballgame as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. No return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And a drive that stalled out last time. Went for it on 4th, didn't get it. How does that translate here? I would imagine momentum's with the defense.
Definitely with the defense, because anytime anyone goes for it on 4th down, that's telling you as a defense that you can't stop us. We don't think that you can. And when you actually do, that may put a little dent in the confidence of the offense the next time they hit the field.
Yeah, we'll see if they can bring that pride the offense this go-around. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Once again, it's Jacobs. And this looks a lot like the last play. Behind the line of scrimmage, he's tackled for the 2nd straight go-around. Great job by this Jacksonville D.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. On 3rd and long, it's Carr. Looking deep for Adams. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play and a quick strike.
And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just having good ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down. On first down, right back to ETN. Yeah, he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. The Jaguars at 6-2 to start play. And they've been playing their best football of the year, winners of 4 in a row.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2. 3rd and 2, Willis. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
I haven't met a quarterback yet that didn't enter the league with a massive chip on his shoulder if he wasn't a first-round pick. They want to show the league that they made a big mistake. Determined to get the first down there, no hesitation at all to tuck it and go. I bet he would have tried running through their entire defense if it meant reaching that marker.
Yeah, he's able to push his way forward somehow for a gain of about 2 yards. Second down now. Two minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. Now they'll look to Willis to pass it here. Completes it to Evan Ingram. And he'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 27 yards there, a first down.
Good job there of getting his tight end involved because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a first down.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
Well, anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Meanwhile, Willis' throw into the hands of Kirk. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. They'll give him 4 yards there, and now it's 3rd and 3. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic and people wanting to put a little contact on it.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Calvin Ridley, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Jaguars go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Well, Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you...
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Tyree Gillespie. And the Jaguars will take over here just shy of the 30. 3 first-half interceptions now, and Charles, you'd have to think a fair amount of concern is developing over there on that sideline.
And there should be, because essentially he's been a little loose and possibly reckless with the football here in the first half. Now, maybe it's not all on him, but still 3 interceptions. That puts the entire team in jeopardy. So the play caller from here on out got it.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Chandler Jones, what a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13.
No question, that was needed by the defense because they're already trailing by a couple of scores. They had to get off the field without allowing another one. That sack on the first play, that may have derailed this drive.
Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, as we get ready for 3rd down, let's go back and recap here. The sack on the first play of this drive, that threw a wrench in what they were trying to accomplish because they were compelled to throw the ball on 2nd down. A running play was not in the works. And that incompletion set up another passing down here on 3rd and long.
Shotgun snap to Willis. He'll air this one out for Kirk. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, their first 2 drives yielded touchdowns, so there's no reason for them to feel like they have to pull back on the reins. They pushed it downfield, looking for another one right there. Didn't get it, but we know they're going to continue to be bold.
Abdullah to return. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Second down and 7. Play action. Now it's Carr. They'll roll him out right. Then his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Andre Sisco. And the Jags are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. Well, Charles, you know, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in this 2nd half. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
And they'll go again with Etienne. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A handoff running left is Etienne. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Play fake. Here's Willis. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. 3rd down, it's Willis. And Ingram holds it in. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 37. That's a 3rd down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 37-yard line. Back to the ground with Etienne. And some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. 68 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now. On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. They'll run with Etienne. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
And they'll run with Etienne. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. They'll try to run with Etienne. And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. Travis Etienne. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Jaguars take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And it's now 21-0. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And their halftime hole now even deeper. They need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a 1st down as well.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run right here with Jacobs. A nice Nice little juke. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Here's a handoff to Jacobs running left. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Now they'll throw with Carr. And his throw here's incomplete.
At this point in the game, in the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They fake the handoff. Now Carr. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Caleb Chason picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner, and I don't think with 3 scores down in the 3rd quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
On 2nd down, a run with Etienne.
Trying to turn the corner, but they string him out and stop him at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, it's Willis.
And able to find Kirk complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That 3rd down conversion good for 23.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40.
And that's going to do it. Clock hits zeros. They're not going to get another playoff. Time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Check that. Street.
Etienne up the middle.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. They'll try and pick it up by running the option to the right. And he will slide to a stop He does have the first down. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you've got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone that has the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
Yeah, it'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the fourth. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Option play, Willis looking to run. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Malik Willis, his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 19 on the year. And the Jaguars add on to their lead, and they are also closing in on a 5th straight victory. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And that makes the score 28-0. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
2nd down, Jacobs once more. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Throwing his car on 3rd down. He's got a man open. It's Hunter Renfrow. And he is going to have the Raiders' first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
Well, we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants him to finish this one out the way.
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11.
Let's go ahead and put check marks by it all, partner. No points. Down by 4 touchdowns. Haven't had anything going today on offense. Why not add a late sack to the mix? Obviously a day to forget for all involved. Let's give plenty of credit to this defensive effort. They've been excellent from start to finish.
Lets this go for Renfrow downfield. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Christian Fulton. And the Jaguars are going to take possession of the football. Well, there's 2 sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Another tote for Etienne. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Nate Hobbs there to bring him down. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't it?
19, Charger, 19.
A give, running right, Etienne. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Now Blankenship on for the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Ball at the 24 and a 2nd and 11.
Now Carr. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Carr. That's caught by his tight end, Foster Moreau. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Shotgun now for Carr. And the Jags get to him as down he goes.
Devon Hamilton, the defensive tackle, getting in there for a loss of 5. After the sack on 1st down, Carr
Under pressure, and they got to him again.
Trayvon Walker,
he's the one that drops him this go-around. And that pass rush getting strong here. Back-to-back sacks. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Carr now to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Las Vegas.
And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go now.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And some space here. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
Charles, when you look at this stats,